Welcome back. I'm here with Glen Wagstaff, founder and managing partner of Vivos, PLLC. Now, Glen, this next topic is something that I'm personally very interested in, gun trusts. Now, I'm a gun owner.
Sure.
How does a gun trust help me?
For most gun owners, it only helps in certain scenarios. But if you happen to have federally regulated firearms, then that's when there's the most benefit.
Okay.
So anything that you would have to actually register because of federal law, short barrel, rifle, shotguns, fully automatic firearms, suppressors, those sort of things, that's where you get the most benefit because it streamlines the purchase process. It allows you to let other people be able to use the firearm without getting in trouble with the ATF, which is the task force that kind of enforces the law, right? Okay. And it also allows you to transfer it and avoid what we call the accidental felony, which is someone inheriting a firearm that should be registered and they don't register it in time. And then those firearms have to be destroyed completely beyond recognition according to federal law. And so, and if someone's caught in possession of it without being registered, it's a federal felony. And so avoiding all of those issues is really the biggest benefit from gun trusts.
All right. Now, obviously, no one wants to be involved in a situation like that. Now, for people who don't have those kinds of federally regulated guns, what is the benefit?
I feel like a lot of gun owners, and you tell me, but a lot of gun owners feel connection to their collection, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And passing that on from generation to generation is something that I think is valuable, and that you can pass on those values of why you feel so strongly about having a firearms collection or being a gun owner. But beyond that, there are certain risks that can come up frequently, right? If anybody would inherit a gun and they have a domestic violence charge on their record, or they've ever been convicted or even charged with a felony, right? They may have a restriction on their ownership of a gun. And instead of having law enforcement collect those and not give them back, if it's owned within a trust, there are ways to be able to allow for someone to control and own the firearm and restrict access even to people who have those sort of things on their records.
You can help prevent that.
Sure. And so ultimately you're protecting them from getting into more trouble, and you're also making sure that the collection's not lost.
As a gun owner, I want to pass those guns on to my children. How does having a gun trust enable that process to be a smooth transition?
Well, this type of planning in general, the idea is to really address what's important to you. We want to pass on those values and not just the firearms. But the other aspect of it is that if you're passing on, for example, part of your collection, you may have a very common gun that you're passing on. Let's say you have a .22 rifle, right? You pass that on and it's just a gun, and they might not know what it means. But if you provide that with a story of, where you got that and maybe some experiences and how that gun was used historically and so on, then there's more meaning there. The other thing is that when it comes to, what you want to leave behind, especially with people who have large collections, leaving a gun library to allow other people to use it, and maybe, the scouts or some nonprofit, or maybe everybody within the family to be able to go shooting recreationally and so on and so forth, hunting. Leaving those guidelines to be able to benefit a whole group of people rather than just specific individuals sometimes is valuable and important. We can do all that in planning.
So it's something that can become your legacy, something that people know you for.
A firearms legacy, sure.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.